Ray Reynolds here with RaysWebinar.com. Ladies and gentlemen, get a tablet and a pen. Take lots of notes, please. It's very critical that you take the notes and you retain the information as much as you can. We're going to talk about how you can get the American dream and get out of your own way in a lot of ways. So let's do this. You're going to get to know me if you don't know me yet. The bottom line is I want to hold your hand for the next 3 months to as long as you want me to. I can get you to a million, some of you maybe even billion. We'll see how that plays out too. So write down this phone number. It's 800-510-3338. Literally, it can change your life. That's how you get a hold of us as we do this. In the beginning, again, information is basically protected in most ways. Let's think about something. Have you tried a business? Have you tried a dream? Did you mess up your credit? What's going on with you? The main thing is, let's do this. 43 years, seminars, workshops, boot camps. I've watched people fall down and they don't really know how to get back up. So let's understand. In the beginning, what I always do for me is I plan on the problems. All right, I learned a long time ago if I plan on the problems and they get screwed up, I've got some basically tools to get through it. I'm always going to go back to safety credit, line of defense. Write those two things down, please. If you have safety credit and you understand the line of defense, you can see it, believe, and get through it every time. Write down, please never bring the pain home again. I don't want you to do that. See, we all fall down. I call it the Humpty Dumpty. Well, we got to get back up again and again. Seems like a lot of people around our lives want to keep us down anyway. So, my journey, I'll give you a little bit of it. From there, I want your journey to begin with me. All right, I'll start at 3 years old, first of all. Okay, what I want to do is make sure you understand what I had to do to get best go myself. So I got to be with Mrs. Hope. She had dropped me off at Redondo Beach Pier at 6:30 in the morning, at the age of 3 to 9.5 years old. Yes, she was the she-devil from hell. I got to learn to steal and beg off the pier. That kind of sucked. But the greatest thing is actually it's good, because one thing I did do, I saw Marina Del Rey, Torrance Rocks, Palos Verdes. I saw money. I started picking up every magazine, every book I could read about anybody who had money. Famous people, all kinds of good stuff. So what did I do? Pretty simple. All right, I obtained my Lamborghini collection through the corporate structure, my mansions. All right, I broke world records, had the helicopters, the yachts, the race boats. Okay, even the Lamborghinis and Ferraris too. So I want you to learn what I basically understood. It's called Ray's Rules. I named it after me. Isn't that going to be fun? Now, here's one of the things I wrote 43 years ago. It's called Winning the Game of Business. One of the things I didn't want to do is be stressed out like most people. All right, maybe some of you. What happened in my life, I had to move 24 times the time I was 11 and a half years old. Those people were mean every place I went. Literally, on the 1st and the 15th, they were abusive at times because they had their mortgage or their lease payment or rent payment. Something was due. They were stressed out. So today, I'll show you exactly why I turned it into a game. I want you to listen, learn, get the rules, the tools, and I want you to have my workshop with me. All right? And we're going to have fun, but I'm going to get you to a million if you listen carefully. Now, I connected the dots as a kid because I heard one thing. All right, a corporation's a legal person. My first corporation for me was called Helping Hand Industries. It went worldwide. You know, it's really weird. I was 9.5 when I sent away for it, a little money order. I didn't realize they're going to send me all these credit cards in the mail. See, back then, people got credit cards without applying for credit. I got over $100,000, and the family I lived with, they took it from me. So I shut it down and suspended it and brought it back alive later on. Because you got to realize, you have the ability to do the same thing, is get through it. Now, I'm going to tell you flat out, I'd like 90 days from you. In other words, if I can hold your hand for 90 days, I can restructure your whole life. $1 million dream. Been doing this helping people just like you for 43 years. Seminars, workshops, and boot camps. So again, we don't want to bring the pain home. So here's what happens with most people, maybe you. You lose your job, you got an emergency, and you need some money. First thing you do is you run out of time. All right, you jack and lose all your money, you spend it all, you jack up your credit, and you bring the pain home in 42 days. There's an alternative to that. There's a better way to do that in the first place. So let's remember, starting tomorrow morning, you should get up at 4:30 in the morning because you have a lot of work to do. Next thing we have to look at is this, getting to know me. All right, I was the second largest advertiser in Los Angeles for 32 years before I found myself in a coma in 2009. And I also was the one helping Ken Yarborough years ago with TRW and Aspirian. So guess what? Write down Credit Services Act. Everybody's got to have their credit rebuilt, not credit repair, because that's just a ripoff anyway. If you go to basically the Credit Services Act, it'll take you to the Federal Trade Commission. It'll tell you credit repair companies can't collect money up front. And all they're really doing is writing silly letters like you write. And it doesn't really work in most cases. It'll also refer you to the Credit Repair Organization Act. And the bottom line is it'll tell you attorneys can't do credit repair either. So what are we supposed to do at the end of the day? Listen to your friends, your family, the bank, Credit Karma, credit bureaus? How about this? You give me 90 days and I'll change your life. I'll give you the rules and the tools and the discipline as well. First thing I want to do for all of you is repackage your life. Your house, your car, your bank account. Sorry, I think you're doing it wrong anyway. I like to do it my way. The bottom line is credit, I love it. It saved my life as a kid. It saved my life as an adult when I found myself in a coma. So let's do this. Every time you hear someone say money for a rainy day, ask them how much money they got. See, in my life, it doesn't rain, it always pours. Most people have a problem, like they need $5,000, but they don't need it next week. They need it now. And what happens with most people, they didn't have the safety credit. They didn't plan on the problem, and it came their way. They asked their friends and family today. They said no, so did the bank. If you had a safety credit card like this one right here, $5,000 card, all right, and you had it for safety, you always have the ability to get through it. It's called safety credit, by the way. If you max at that card today, the payment is $50 a month. I bet you waste that every other day anyway. So the bottom line is this. The average person wastes $140 a week. There's 4.3 weeks in a month. That's over $600. You see, here's a $50,000 venture in venture one. So here's $100,000. Here's the thing about personal credit. You can't write off the card or the interest rate. And when you steal the money from the credit or the card or the credit or the money from the family, all that's going to do is hurt the family. So if we had to max out a card like this, all right, the payment is $612.26. For the average person who's kind of wasting that away, you could have used that card instead. You see, you don't have to bring the pain home. You could have bought 2 pizzas the day started a business. So let's give you the tools and the rules and the discipline that you need that you've been missing long ago. So let's remember something, like I said in the beginning. Plan on the problems. There's always somebody going to get in your way. Someone's going to piss you off today. But if you got the ability to have safety credit and the line of defense, you can see it, believe, and go get it every time. So remember what I wanted you to do. Run your own race. You see, it's the hardest thing to do in this world with everybody's opinion or everybody getting in the way. It's running your own race today. But guess what's going to happen? Yes, we're going to fall down. We're going to get up again and again. People seem to want to keep us down. Now, what I do is pretty simple. I turn off the sounds of other people. You got to write that down because you got the dream, you got the vision, you got what you want to do for you. So we're going to have to run your race, never give up, no matter what anybody says. Now, so we do this like me. For instance, I was told this and that from so many people in my life, even when I started taking martial arts and karate at 4 years old. They told me not to do this, not do that. You know what I've always done again? I turn it off. All right, that's me basically breaking world records because I believed in me. It's always been God in me. So you got the ability to do this. All right, by the way, white men do jump. There's a world record, and I hold it since 1981. So do yourself a favor. Never hear, you can't do this or do that. Okay? You got an SSN today? Oh, goody. That's your Social Security card if you don't know. Why do you have one? Because you were told to get one as a teenager to get a job. So we follow like sheep to go get that. And now when something gets screwed up, we bring the pain home and we're the duck. Let's teach you a better way. You see, you only have 1 or 2 write-offs at all. From there, it's not the real way to do it. Now, let's remember, your SSN got you a credit report, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. Oh, goody. When you jack up a credit card past 29%, there goes your score. Now you're stuck. Every time you do that, you get stuck. And it takes you so long to get out of that. You got the ability to do this right if you want to. So if we do this, why do you got an SSN? Simple. Not only because we were told to as a teenager to get a job, but our government bonds us each. We're the collateral for the United States of America Incorporated. That's why they talk about the consensus all the time. They want to know how much money to print. I mean, ever since Nixon took the gold standard out, pretty simple. They've been printing money 24/7. Let's write a little list. You got that tablet and pen? Let's write down Ray's rules. 100,000 of credit. Everybody should have 100,000 of credit personally. No more than that. You can't write off the interest rate or the card. You can't use more than 29% because if you do, you jacked it up, your score dropped. If you had the discipline to this, you would have had 71,000 of safety credit. That would have gave you the ability to buy time in case there's a pandemic or COVID-19. But the average person, probably most of you, you took money and credit from the family, you rolled the dice, you hurt the family, you brought the pain home. There's an alternative to that. You don't need to do it that way. All right, that will always bring the pain home. So write down never bring the pain home ever again. See, me, I'm in a coma at 5.5. Pretty simple. I hit the curb with my face going 40 miles an hour on a bicycle. It told me I'd never walk again in my life. Well, I still got up. 2009, I'm in another coma. So I've been in 2 comas so far. You see, it's called swine flu and pneumonia. All right, pandemic 9, COVID-9, I don't care what you call it. There's me laying in a hospital waiting to die. Now, what did I do? I took people on my corporate yacht. It was parked in my backyard. Where you park yours again? But here's the thing. I didn't know somebody's going to come on my yacht with swine flu and pneumonia and kill me the next day. If I would have known that, I would have thrown them off the yacht to feed them to the sharks, or I would have wore a mask on my head because I don't want to lie there looking there being dead. So you got a choice. The world's really changing today. It's pretty simple. Nobody wants H1N1, COVID-19, or anything else. So here's what I had to do for 5 weeks. You see, I didn't get the mommy and daddy like most of you. I don't have anyone to call on this planet at all and say, help me, please. I got to do it myself. God, me, that's it. They brought down oxygen tanks to the house. I put them around my arm like a football. You see, I had to pay my bills and I had to feed my family. I put my credit score back to an 820 and I popped another $1 million of credit again. I'm not going to stay down, and from now on, neither are you. You're going to learn the rules, the tools, and have the discipline to never bring the pain home. See, today, you don't get a do-over. You get to live or die. All right, COVID-19 can wipe you out. Maybe you wear a mask today. I would have wore a bubble around my head versus laying there being dead. So take a moment and think about this. It takes a moment to die and a lifetime to live. Which one are you going to pick? It's going to be up to you. You got the ability, and I'm going to tell you, I've never been comfortable a day in my life. I don't think you should ever be comfortable either. Comfortable people are lazy. They just get by. They're never going to see the vision or the dream. The bottom line is going to be up to you. Now, ever since I was a little boy, I started doing something at 2.5 years old. I call it Ray's mirror test. So here's what happens. When I was 2.5 years old, I had to figure out to get out of hell myself. I had nobody to help me. So I found myself crying in front of a mirror. Now, I want you to try this. Not the crying part, but do what I do. This morning, I got up at 2:25, which I do every day. I drop to my knees and I say, thank you, Jesus, for another day. I go look in the mirror and I stare at myself for 2 minutes. Try it. You see, I take responsibility for me. I don't blame anybody else and all the blah, blah, blah. I'll use it as reference to give me energy and get me pissed off to go get it. So let's understand this. Ask yourself 2 questions. Do not comb your teeth and comb your hair. First question is, have you completed everything? The answer is no. Then why are you sleeping in past 4:30? There's work to be done. Is there more to be done? Always. See, I look at it this way. For 43 years doing seminars, workshops, boot camps, most people, God gave you an idea and a dream. Then you ask your friends and family, what do they think? Oh my goodness, and what happened next? They clouded your directions. We don't care what they think. God gave you the dream and the vision for you. Do yourself a favor. Shh, don't tell anybody what you're going to do for 90 days. Let me do it for you. I'll hand you the fish, teach you how to fish. At the end of that, they'll say, how did you do this or that? Just say rayswebinar.com. That's all you're going to have to do. For me, I want you chasing the money, chasing the dream. Money is one of the top 10 things I love best in my life. Yeah, I'm not afraid to say I love money because I do. I don't have to steal and beg off the pier. I can feed my family. I can pay my bills. I can help people like you. So guess what? Money's going to have to be one of the top things for you too. Now today is simple. We're getting older, slower. We're not as pretty as we used to be. Go back to the job you hate. It's okay. Eventually they're going to fire you anyway. Maybe you're going to drive an Uber and deliver some pizza. If that's your true American dream, enjoy that too. It's not mine. So you got a choice today. Now, what happened when I was 7.5 changed my life even some more. You see, being in Mrs. Hope's house, every Wednesday night they had a poker game. All right, I used to write my little note standing outside the pantry. Actually, they said it was my bedroom. Like I said, she was a she-devil from hell. I heard a corporation's a legal person. Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard my way out of hell if I could figure it out. I wrote it down and circled it 10 times. The next day, I wanted to get to the library as fast as I could. I asked the lady, how do I look it up? She says, here's a microfiche, here's a book. I was so excited all night, I couldn't sleep. I'm looking for the book, the blueprint, the instruction manual, something to get me where I need to go. Has to exist, right? I got pissed off. One thing about me, when I get pissed off, I take it internally. That means I have to find the solution for myself. So today, yes, you got the motivational crap. End of the day, that's all it is, blah, blah, blah. Someone going to tell you a secret? Yeah, blah, 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 some more. So it's simple. Here's 12 books and CDs that don't have any blah, blah, blah in it for you, but they have 1,000 rules and tools. If you want to go get the $1 million dream, it's right there. Real estate was fun. I had $841 million of real estate through the corporate structure back then before the coma. Then my life got destroyed. The financial series was good. Don't forget, I wrote Winning the Game of Business 43 years ago. Well, that was fun. So here's 18 books and 18 CDs. If all you want is books and CDs and the rules and tools, there you go. Do it yourself. But I'd rather have you at the workshop with me. I want you to do both. So here's how it goes at the office. We have some salespeople. They sell it for $999. When I do the webinar, and this means right now what I'm doing, you get half price at $499 if you do it during the webinar. If you don't, just call sales. They'll charge you $9.99 so they get their commission. Not a problem. We take Zelle wire deposit. Take a picture of that page today. You're probably going to need it because I'm going to offer you many things you're going to want to play with me. So what do we get to do? Pretty simple. I like to repackage your life. I want to rebuild your credit my way, a rapid rescore, credit lines, corporate structure, books, CDs, and classes. I want you stuck with me. Remember, write it down. Every given credit card you ever get needs to be between 25 to 29%. No zero balance, and don't jack it up past 29%. If you do that, your score drops. That's on you. I got to make you a qualified CFO, a Chief Financial Officer. So as we do this correctly the right way, there's 4 points if you want to make money with me and have fun too. First thing, I love real estate. That's fun. By the way, we can make millions of dollars. But if we get a property to fix it up, remember, I have to turn it into a game. That's how I have fun and not be stressed out. So what do? I call it a flippity-dippity-do. Maybe you want a duplex, a fourplex, or an apartment complex. I like commercial real estate too. From there, maybe we'll get you a franchise today. Because we have to pick the ones that stay open through COVID-19. The McDonald's, the Taco Bell, the Wendy's when they got the beef. Profit sharing, we can do that too. Now let's understand, I was also known as the incorporator for most of your rich and famous people in the past. And I taught them how to leverage money and credit so they can get millions and billions. There's 84 ways to do that. I'll teach you 3 or 4. We can turn these cards that we get to write off interest rate and card to 99 more. As much as you want. The bottom line is up to you. You got to decide how you want to build that dream. Now here's a Lamborghini. It's pretty simple. My first car was a Lamborghini. All right, because I wanted it and I bought it at an auction. So let's think. Pay tax or buy a Lamborghini. What does that mean to you? Let's see. Every rich and famous people you can see, they drive company cars and they rot it off, but not you. You get a paycheck. Oh, goody. It's already been taxed. You get the leftover. Then you pay for a car you should not. And most people, you take the money and the credit from the family, and then you roll the dice. And where did you bring? the paying home. Please don't do that anymore. Every car you get should be a tax ID and a fleet price under the corporation today. You have the ability to protect yourself. You see, you're probably using that paycheck, which is called taxable income, to pay the payment, the gas, registration, insurance. Can you yell the word no from now on, please? Every one of you have the ability to get a car under a tax ID at fleet price. You have the ability to write it all off if you want to. But again, I'm going to say it one more time. Now I'll probably say it a million times, so you just hear it in your head, it goes by itself. Never bring the pain home. There's a science behind all the madness today. Look at what they say. We got to count people. All right, so we know how much money to print. That's why the consensus is right in front of you. They want to know exactly how many people to count to print some more money so they don't come up short. They got to the key to the printing press. They're just having fun. So let's remember something today. You got one SSN. Have you read the card front and back? If I ask you, you're all going to say yes. Then I'm going to ask you, what does it say? And not one of you will be able to answer the damn question, which really, I can't believe it. But that's on you. You're going to have to use Ray's rules today. Look at the card front and back. Ladies, pull it out of your purse next to your feet. Gentlemen, it's in your back pocket. Read it this time. It says, do not laminate, don't use for variety purposes. It tells you flat out it's not even yours. It's on the back of the card. You got one chance not to be the duck and to screw up, and the reality is everybody screws up because they only have one of these. But they're doing it wrong. You see, the Federal Trade today says 97% are a little screwed up. Probably you. Never know. So let's give you alternatives today. Yes, you got your SSN. Goody. It's not even your card on the back of it. Tells you flat out. You get one or two write-offs. That's about it. But the bottom line is going to be up to you. Yes, you got the Asperian, the Equifax, TransUnion too. But here's the problem. Every time you jack up a car past 29%, you screwed up your score. Now you're stuck till you find the money to pay it back down. You've been playing roller coaster every day with this till you know the rules and the tools. So you got the ability to do this right. Please write down SS4 times 4. You got a choice today. In SS4, let's think. If we got corporate credit like this, we get to write off the card, the interest rate and everything, and depreciation value and so much more. Almost no liability, and write off almost everything we want to do. The bottom line is you have to learn how to play the game. And that's why it's called Ray's Rules. We're going to play. When you play a game, don't you play to win? Do you read the rules too? It's exactly what you want to do. So for every SS4 you ever want, all right, I can build you an Asperian, an Equifax, and a TransUnion. That way you don't steal money and credit from the family ever again and ever bring the pain home, because that's called silly and dumb. Reality is you got a choice. I told you to write down SS4 times 4. Did you write it down yet? Now remember, they say that 96% of all corporations set up today, all right, don't do a darn thing anyway. So let's do this. Corporation, the way I designed this in 1986, do not name it after you because that's called dumb. Don't name it what it does. That's double dum-dum. Now write down the line of defense, please. I want you to have divisions under the corporate structure. One for real estate, one for franchise, one for current business. I want you to allow me to build you up to $100,000 on a card or $1 million card. How much would you like? You got the ability to finance an American dream if you want to. Now remember earlier, I already told you have $100,000 on personal credit. So here, I can't write off this cards or interest rates, but here I can. Which one you want to pick? See, you got the ability to learn, and I hear people all the time, rich and famous people don't pay tax anyway. Well, my only response is shut up and join them. It's called Don't Bring the Pain Home. Ray's Rules. SSN, got one of those, so you're the duck. SS4 times as many as you need. Which one wants to be the duck some more? Is that going to be you? You're going to stay being a quack today? You got the choice. If you want to bring the pain home, keep going the way you're going today. You see, you got an SSN that equals a 1040, which you got one or two write-offs of that. The SS4 equals an 1120. From there, no liability, almost none at all, and you get to write off almost everything you're going to do. I wonder which one we're going to pick. By the way, you need both. Okay, one for the family, simple over there, safety credit, and then in the corporation more. Now, if you're watching me on Google, Facebook, and YouTube, that's kind of fun. but you're missing the PowerPoint in front of me. You might just think about go to raiswebinar.com and get the full overview so you can learn not to bring the pain home ever again. Now let's read exactly what I learned at 7.5. You ready to read with me? This is chapter 18, by the way. It says a corporation is a legal person, may sue or be sued. Do you realize a corporation of paper has more write-offs and is more important than you are? All right, this is why the people get hurt if they don't play the game. But it's up to you. I'm not here to give you legal advice. So let's think about it. Are you ready? The United States of America Incorporated, they set up the line of defense called cities. Every city is a corporation. Every city did, what did they do? Every state. So every state is a corporation, every city is a corporation too. So here they set up the line of defense, but what about you? Did you set up your line of defense in case something goes wrong, or do you keep bringing the pain home? You've watched cities fall bankruptcy in the past. Why? Because they're corporations. They're using the rules and the tools that they designed. It's about time you read and understand them too. It's called We the People. Not only is it your constitutional right, so does the Supreme Court says so too. By the way, you are we the people. It's about time you step up to the plate and learn how to win the game of business. Nixon takes the gold standard out. Heck, they got the key to the printing press. They haven't stopped printing money ever since then, 24/7. The day that happened, they ordered 16 more printing presses, by the way, and they gave 2 to different countries. Well, that was kind of dumb. All right. Now let's understand about Mama. She gave birth this morning to a baby at a hospital. You got your SSN as a teenager, remember that? Now, the baby just got born. Within 3 hours or less, Mama's got to have to order an SSN, Social Security card, for the baby. That's right, the baby that's going to sleep, poop, and eat, it's going to get a tax ID? Nope, it's going to get an SSN. Mama can't take the baby to the stroller into the car seat and can't go home unless Mama signs the SSN form. See, that's the way. They need to count the people today so they can print some more money. Nothing wrong with that. Just know the rules and the tools, how to play the game and win. SSN, United States of America. We're the collateral. No problem with that. I love the USA. Reality is I learned how to play the game. I mastered the rules and tools by the time I was 9.5. Why didn't you? SS 4 times 4. Corporation, line of defense, divisions of subsidiaries too. You don't have to bring the pain home ever again. But again, you have to learn how to structure the discipline and the rules and the tools. That's how you basically, when people say they have knowledge is power, I always challenge every one of those because most of them are ding-dongs, don't know diddly squat. Understand, you don't have to be the duck. Remember, your personal credit is called safety from now on because Ray's rule says so. You don't jack that up, you don't hurt the family. Corporation gets a tax ID and gets corporate credit. We set up the line of defense. Every division or entity or subsidiary gets the same thing too. What's going to happen if something goes wrong? I'll show you the 3-step. So let's remember what I'm going to say one more time. Stop bringing the pain home. You see, let's understand in the past, Mr. Trump bankrupted 4 corporations in the past. He never brought the pain home. Why did you? When it comes to rich and famous people, they file bankruptcy every day, but they stay rich and famous too. You watch Wells Fargo Bank? Oh my goodness. They were set up in 1852. They stole my identity twice. They got a fine for $3 billion. They wrote that off, and they shut down 507 locations so far. You see, it's like when you watch a city file bankruptcy in the past. How did they do that? Because they're a corporation. This is how the rules are set up. You got the choice to listen and learn and understand. It's like credit starts credit score. Credit score don't get you anything else besides house and a car. All right, don't do anything for your credit report at all unless you screw it up. So what's the rule? Don't screw it up. Raise rules, 29% on a given credit card. Don't jack it up, don't drop your score. If you do, that's on you. Got to get you to the workshop so you learn the rules and the tools step by step. That's the ultimate goal. If you allow me to rebuild your credit my way, I'll make you a qualified CFO. I'll get you a 720 minimum. I'm going to charge you $499. Now, if you allow me to put you in my rapid rescore, all right, I'm going to get you and push you to the 820. That's $499 too. Now, the office loves to sell this program at $998, and that's okay. I like to give it away through the webinar with me. So here's a $1,000 credit card. What I like to always do is take away excuses. So that's pretty simple. In other words, you get in a program with me, I'll give you 1 to 10 times cash credit back to you. I don't do it for $9.98. That's a sales team. I haven't had a paycheck for 20 years. I don't need one, don't want one. I give it away for $4.99. That's twice. Now let's think. If you invest $4.99 in you, you're getting the 820 score. You're getting a $1,000 card, which is twice as much your investment back to you. And you're going to be invited to a class for 90 days at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time to learn the rules and the tools how to play the credit game anyway. What excuse you got now? You stubbed your toe? The program literally is designed for 90 days or less, no matter what a mess you got. Your ability is to call 800-510-3338. But that's on you. So let's remember, we don't want to bring the pain where? Home ever again. The way we get paid since COVID-19 started is Zelle wire deposit. That's all you got to do. You can call 800-510-3338 if you want to. Now, one of the things about me is I broadcast 3 times a day and on Saturday, the last 43 years. I do everything live. I don't like pre-recorded crap. So you get stuck with me. I don't pass the buck. I might ask you to do 1 or 2 things at the most. I hope you can follow through like I do. See, let's look at Walt Disney in the past. They filed bankruptcy 7 times. When I got dropped off of the pier, remember, I kept grabbing every book and magazine I could about rich and famous people. I wonder how they did it. You see, if you understand what they do, maybe we can do it too. You see, they got $1 billion in the bank. They didn't want to pay tax, so all they had to do was write an IOU. They know how to play the game. Is it about time you learn how to play too? But again, it's going to be up to you. SAS 4 times 4. That's what I'd like to have you do. Almost no liability at all and write off everything you're going to do. At least if you start the business, you don't bring the pain where? Home. But again, it's a choice. For every SS4 you get, I can build you an Aspirian, an Equifax, a TransUnion too. How many would you like to build that business today? Nothing's going to be in your way besides you after meeting me today. All right, like I said earlier, your personal credit has to be called safety. You can't write it off, the card or the interest rate. The way I designed this in 1986, 8 credit cards per division of a corporation, 9 lines of credit, 8 supply cards, 10 vendor cards, 10 marketing, lease cards, gas cards, and cash cards too. You see, the ability to say, okay, I got to have this for the family. That's called safety. If I need more, I can get more like house and car. Over here, let's use the right credit we can write off so we don't bring the pain where? Home. I don't know why anybody would want to bring the pain home. All I say is that sucks. So I got to make you a qualified CFO. That's what I really want to do to get you the most credit as you want. Now, everybody kind of screws up when it comes to Mr. Buffett. They talk about the stock market. They're missing the whole big point. I studied his father first, then him. He owns 100 plus companies. He owns his favorite 10. First of all, Ketchup, Geico, Coca-Cola, American Express, Duracell, Dairy Queen, See's Candy, British Jewelry, even Fruit of the Loom. He's playing the game. But the biggest thing I got to ask you is, why aren't you? You can play the game too. I'm an affiliate to 115 creditors. I would tell you flat out, don't use your authorized user and don't spend thousands of dollars on trade lines. That's just a bunch of crap. You got the ability to allow me to make you a CFO, Chief Financial Officer. If you're going to build a business, let's do it the right way. Now, I'm the guy that invented 113 ways to daisy chain credit, by the way. I can get 99 cards off every card if you want. But we got to talk about corporate credit. It's the only thing we get to write off. That's why we're going to call it Ray's Rules. The ability to learn how to master the rules and tools, and that way you can stand on your own 2 feet. And you get it in here, and you know exactly how to play the game. Now, if you got the intent to rip anybody off or defraud them, those are the bars of a jail. Guess what I'll do? I'll be the first one to testify, get you in a court of law. You're not being a crook on my dime. So here's the corporation, 3 divisions. Write down line of defense. Draw the first blueprint for you. What if something goes wrong? Are we going to go boo-hoo-hoo? No. We're going to disconnect that division. We're going to analyze everything first and see what we need to do. If we got to do the 3-step, that's okay. All right, we're going to disconnect, isolate, incorporate it. If I can't save it, I might have to bankrupt that piece, but I don't hurt the other pieces, and I never bring the pain where? Home ever again. You got the ability to listen and learn, and I hope and pray these are turned on today. I brought in my first 100,000 at 9.5, my first million at 14, my first billion at 24, my double billion at 26. How the hell am I doing? You might just want to use Ray's rules and tools. What do you think? I haven't had a paycheck for over 20 years. Now, when you bought your house, I'm sorry, I'm going to probably say you did it wrong anyway. You see, I want you to write down Ray's rules. Remember what I said earlier? I want to repackage your house, your car, your bank account. I want to clone me into you and do it the right way. See, when you bought a house for you, you let escrow tell you what to do, but they work for you. It should have been escrow closed, escrow homestead, escrow put it in a trust. I don't understand. In audiences of thousands of people, I ask who has a house, they raise their hand. Who has it in a trust? Hardly nobody raised their hand. Somebody sues you today, they screw you, they take it away, your family got diddly squat. If you die, it's stuck into probate. Don't you think you should Google the word trust today and get the forms for free? But that's up to you. Now let's go back to having fun to that house. We're going to fix it up. We're going to call it a flippity-dippity-doo. By the way, you're going to hire a contractor. It's okay. He or she's going to hire the subcontractors that stand outside Home Depot. They're good workers. But when they cut every corner they can, and when they slip and fall, and they sue and screw you out of everything you got, well, it looks like you didn't listen to me. What I told you in the beginning today is make sure you protect yourself, because there's always somebody trying to take it away. Every property you get should be quickly deeded to a division, an assignment of equity. This way they can't sue you at all, and at the end of the day, they do get diddly squat. Maybe you didn't have to fight to get out of hell like I did. All right, but the bottom line, this is up to you. You got the ability. It's like irrevocable living trust or something. It's about time you step up to the plate and make sure your family wins. But some of you, guess what? We still got to fix up that property today. Every week I find one or two that say, Ray, I didn't want to pay tax. I just basically did it to the side. I didn't want the IRS to find out. And I'll say, you're a dummy. You see, the only way you can win the game is to play by the rules they gave us. When you play a game, do you play to win or cheat? So the bottom line is, all right, you probably played peekaboo and made a mess with the IRS. If you did, go to irs.gov, download the form called 656 of 433A and B, get your COVID-19 check, get your butt back in the system where it belongs, and knock it off, because corporations, again, do not pay tax so they make a profit. We still got to fix up that property today. They nicknamed me OPM as a kid. I want you to have 4 more divisions. Can you write them down for me, please? I want you to have a carpet, appliances, fixtures, and wood. I want to show you step by step how a division can go to the manufacturer and save up to 70%. Not pay a bill for 30 to 60 to 90 days. I don't want to use my money to fix that, but I use their money. That's called OPM money. Now we got them, basically when we sell the property, escrow pays off all the bills. Okay, I got $200,000 left over. What am I going to do? You're not going to act like you're rich like you did the last time. $200,000 fits in my jacket pocket. I want you to understand, most of you, probably all of you, had $10,000, $100,000 in the past, and you pissed it away, and some of you are broke today. Knock that off, please. You haven't learned leveraging. This is the biggest problem. This pisses me off to no end. Raise rules, leveraging money. Borrow money's not taxable. Please write it down. You're going to have to set up the line of defense. Now let's understand something. Before my coma, all right, the bank would call me every morning at 9 o'clock in the morning going, what can I do for you, Ray? See, when you got money, they're always on the phone or in your office going, what can I do for you, Ray? Let's remember, ladies and gentlemen, money gets you honey, does it not? But the reality is if they don't know your name because you have no money, they're not going to call you. So let's learn how to play. Leveraging some money. I'll put you in the right CD, line of credit, bank account too. What we're trying to create is 3 reference points. See, when you do this the right way, the banks have to say yes when they verify themselves. I like yes, do you? So that's $600,000 now, reference points. Remember, the banks borrow from the feds times 10 and loan back 5 to us. So if they gave us times 5, that's $3 million. Since borrow money's not taxable, let's take $2 million of that. You'll get a McDonald's today, get a fry and a chocolate shake and a Big Mac too. Would you like one? See, you got to get past your blah, blah, blah in your brain. Everybody can do this. Okay, beating your own doubt, running your own damn race. You're going to have to get out of your own way. You're probably the one holding yourself back anyway. Cash flow, free up your time. Let's understand something. A corporation literally can loan money under C-191 8 different ways. Let's take it off the credit card today, $50,000 for the fun of it. Let's help 5 people to save their house. All right, let's put a second trust deed on their house, a homestead blocker, a UCC one-chattel mortgage too. And what we're going to do, we're going to call that company, it's my money, I want it now. See, they factor in 12 hours or less. So let's understand what I did right now. I use this card, help 5 people. I get a cash flow. I get the money right back. And I just created $24.49 per month. A month. You can design your own cash flow if you want to. If you did $100,000, that's $4,800 a month. $150 is $73.47. Nothing stops you, and you can create your own cash flow, free up your time if you want to. The only thing you have to do is learn the rules and the tools how to play the game. Here's some mansions, here's a helicopter, here's a yacht. Some of the goodies I've had before. I'll show you mine, show me yours. I got to get you past go anyway. See, at the end of the day, you got some choices here. I used to call this one God's gift. You see, I parked my race boat and my yacht in my backyard. Where you park yours again? You got the choice, because I like the helicopters, the Lamborghini, and the building too. Wouldn't you? I mean, come on, give me a break. So let's understand something today. I'd like you to change your driver's license to a P.O. box or a mailing address, please. See, every time you whip out your driver's license because you wrote a check or you use your debit card, you're going, here's my house. I'm not home right now. Come rob it for me, please. Why don't you sue me, screw me? Why don't you take it away? Sorry, it's about time you step up to the plate and protect your ass. And never bring the pain home ever again. California, we have the Schaefer Bill, Driver's Privacy Protection Act. The other 49 states have something too. You got to realize it's up to you to protect yourself. Now, let's remember something. The last time you bought a car, what did you do? You let somebody with an ugly shirt and an ugly tie sweat you for hours on end. You felt like you were getting suffocated. It's amazing how that felt. You wanted to leave, didn't you? You had 9 inquiries, you lost up to 5,000 plus. If you're going to do it your way when they hand you that piece of paper, at least add 2 things to it, please. They say we got to run your credit. Next to your signature, just put this allows 1 inquiry only and take a picture, please. That's all I want you to do. Can you do that for me? See, if you do it my way, we're going to use a tax ID and at fleet price. All right, and going to be able to write it all off under the corporation. You're going to drive a company car. If you're going to be in the business, that's what you should do anyway. So let's understand today, you probably are going to go to the grocery store or the bank this week, right? What if you bump somebody's car, a little bumpity bump? Don't worry, they're going to act like they got whiplash. I'm going to die. Then they're going to ask you the driver's license, insurance, and registration, please. Driver's license, home address, insurance, you're probably paying that out of your paycheck. I hear that's called taxable income. It could be the corporation instead. I'll bet you're the registered owner of that car, aren't you? Is that good for you? Because that makes you the duck. They're going to call one of these nasty attorneys, I call them bloodsuckers on TV. They're going to sue you, screw you, and take everything you got. Because you didn't do what I told you to do in the beginning today. Plan on somebody trying to get in your way or take it away. If you listen and learn at the workshops with me, we'll find out the alternative, so you're not the registered owner. It might even be a division. The lien holder might be the corporation too. See, this way they can't sue you at all, and at the end of the day, they do get diddly squat. Why not? See, you got to have to learn to step up to the plate some more again and again, but it's going to be up to you. What did I do on July 3rd, 2009? I took my corporate yacht from my backyard, right there's the address. I said fill it up. I wrote off the car, the interest rate, and the yacht. Heck, why not? But someone came on my yacht that had swine flu and pneumonia. I would have put a bubble around my head versus laying there dead if I would have known they were on my yacht. Throw them off overboard, feed them to the sharks. But guess what? Life happens to all of us, doesn't it? So what am I going to do? Go boo-hoo-hoo? Nope. I walked around with the oxygen tank under my arm for 5 weeks. Got an 820 credit score, made myself a good CFO, and I popped another $1 million of credit again. I don't stay down, and neither will you when you play with me. You got the ability to always win. God's using me to help you if you pay attention today. Now let's remember, I made a promise in that coma. That's why I'm here helping you today. So let's understand my legacy when I die. It's simple. It's called the Reynolds University. So today, if you got a corporate setup, that's goody. You paid $3,000 plus and got a stock kit. You're not doing anything with it because you don't know what to do. Me, I'll do the articles, also as tax ID for you. I'll charge you $9.99, but I want you in my workshops for 3 months. I want you to remember the last time you watched your favorite movie. When you watched the movie, you heard the lines. You said the lines before they did you not? What if you go to the workshops for 3 months and hear it again and again and again? Then I put you in level 1. How to set up the divisions for the line of defense. $9.99. The office and the sales team, they sell for $19.98. That's not bad. I give it away for $17.99 through me, through the webinar. And here's how it is. After you learn the rules and the tools, I give you $5,400 of cash credit. Like I said, I always want to give you back up to 1 to 10 times the money you put into something to take away all your excuses. Rapid rescore and credit building too. What excuse you got now? You stubbed your toe? All right, there you go. There's nothing else you need to do besides play with me. I'm doing all the work for you anyway. We take Zelle, wire, deposit. That's how we get paid here since COVID-19. But again, you got basically 800, 510, 83. I'm screwing that up too. 800, 510, 3338. The lack of commitment seems to be the biggest problem for most people. What's holding them back? So let's look at this building in Lamborghini that was purchased under tax IDs. It's called Reaching the Dream. Think and be the impossible. I've heard no a billion times at least, but I know one thing: Ray's rules work. You got the ability to master them as well. Get into the workshop with me. All I'm asking for is 90 days. I'll show you rules and tools and how to play the game. Seminars, workshops, and boot camps will be up to you. The main thing is you need to understand there's rules and tools and there's a discipline to this. It's like motivation. I listen to it every day. I like it, but at the end of the day, motivation without rules, tools, a blueprint, instruction manual, I'm sorry to say, it's just blah, blah, blah. Here's some goodies. You want some? Let me know. See, at the end of the day, you got a story to tell too. And what I like to do is get you an 820 credit score, get you an up to 100,000 of credit, get you a corporation divisions up to $1 million too. I want you to stop being stuck. But this up to you. What is next? It's pretty simple with me. It's called Ray's Rules. All right, let me do the work, hand you the fish, teach you how to fish, and give you the rules and the tools and the discipline. The ability, everybody can see it, believe, and go get it now. So at the end of the day, what did I say in the beginning? I want to repackage your whole life, your car, your house, and your bank account. I want you to do it the right way. But again, it's up to you. So let's think about this. All right, when I had to basically figure it out, when I heard a corporation's a legal person, all right, it wasn't existing, it doesn't exist now, step by step, make it simple. From here, here's 12 books and CDs called the Millionaire's Founders Kit, the real estate system, financial system too, and then don't forget the one I did 43 years ago called Winning the Game of Business. To me, it has to be a game because I want to win. Your ability to listen very carefully is up to you. Office likes to sell for $9.99. To the webinar, I give it for $4.99. Up to you. If you sell it, wire deposit, that's what you get it while I'm doing the webinar with you. As we do this, let's keep in mind, like I said, corporate setup today with the workshops for 90 days. All right, articles also is tax ID, $17.99. You get $5,400 of cash credit back to you. 3 times your investment. You get the rapid refresh and the credit building too. Now, no more excuses, and all you got to do is basically do one thing called Zelle, wire, or deposit. As we do this today, I want to make sure you're on the list for the workshops with me on Saturday. How the 14th Amendment made corporations into people. It's amazing how that is. Nixon took the gold standard out. There you go. Understand something. I love the United States of America. I just understand the rules and the tools how to play the game and win. It's about time you win too. They manage 50 states. They're all corporations. All the states manage the cities. All right, they have their line of defense too. Check it out. They even have their little own bankruptcy called a Chapter 9. You can learn exactly how to play the game and win just like they do. Raise rules. Never have joint credit again. When you buy a house, it should be escrow closed, escrow homestead, escrow recorded in a trust. Corporation, don't name it after you. That'd be kind of dumb. Don't name it what it does. That's double dum-dum. Have up to $1 million of corporate credit. Have divisions, real estate, franchise, current business. That way you can make sure you don't bring the pain where? Home. That's why we do the classes for the last 43 years. You got the ability to listen and learn today. Like I said in the beginning, I want you to plan on the problems. I want you to realize no matter what you say or do, something's going to try to mess with you. But if you got safety credit in the line of defense, you can see it, believe it, and go get it every time. But again, you're going to have to get to the workshops with me. And if all you want is an 820 credit score, okay. $499, give you a $1,000 card. All right, get you to the workshop for education. Twice as much you invest in yourself, and we do all the work where you sit back, you listen to some rules and tools, and just follow along. It's done in usually 90 days or less. But again, that's up to you. Zelle wire deposit. The next thing you got to realize is this. This is my favorite one. I call this millionaires in the making, by the way. This is where I call it step one. I put all the pieces together for you. And what happens? We analyze you twice, too. The office likes to sell for $3,995. From there, I give it for $2,999. And I offer $25,000 of cash credit back to you. So that's 8 times your investment for yourself while I'm doing all the work. And all you have to do is follow through, be at the workshops, and listen and learn. So you got the ability today to Zelle wire deposit. That's all you're going to have to do. We make it simple for you. As you do this, remember the American dream. Receiving money every month, pay all your bills, drive the company car, go on a business trip, help other people, free up your time. Keep in mind, we want the line of defense. That's what we want to do. We need to master raised rules and tools. So the Millionaires in the Making workshop is pretty simple. All the goodies, $2,999 today, $25,000 in cash credit back to you, 8 times your investment back to yourself, and I'm going to hold your hand every step of the way. As you do this, it's called Zelle wire deposit today. The ability to follow through. I will personally hold your hand at every seminar, workshop, and boot camp. I never pass the buck. It's going to be up to you. From here, all we have to do is stay safe today, stay strong. We're sitting there, we got to go move from forward as well. Let us remember life is a gift from our Father in heaven. God has given us the opportunity to believe and receive. Let's make the best of the day, give thanks in every way. Thank you, Jesus, for one more day. Amen to that. God's given me rules and tools to give them to you. I just want to help change your life. That's all I want to do. So you got 800-510-3338. All you got to do is call that right away. Talk to one of the salespeople or Zelle or basically deposit or wire today. And never forget, at the end of the day, it's pretty simple. God loves us all. Where's my IT guy?
Yes, I have your file pulled up. I'll go ahead and have her give you a call and we'll see what she does. She just has tomorrow off.